everyone and welcome to Moonlight. My name is Elisa and today's video is going to be a collaboration with some of my doll customizing friends on YouTube. Each of us was creating a holiday themed doll and all of the dolls came out so incredibly beautiful. Be sure to check out the beautiful dolls of DOLLIGHTFUL, POPPEN and TAMAKYU as well. I'll link the channels in the description of course. So let's get started! I wanted to create something very festive and winter inspired this year. In the last years we usually had no snow on Christmas holidays, so I wanted to get into a snowy cold mood by creating kind of an ice queen-like doll inspired by Russian folklore clothing. The perfect candidate this time was Laguna Fire. I've had her for quite some time now, and her pearly grey skin color was just absolutely perfect for becoming an icy winter queen. So, as always, I'm starting by removing her factory paint and her original factory hair. Since I'm going to make a wig for her this time, I can already start with the fun part, her face. I wanted to blush her very soft with some pink pastels to give her the look of freezing a tiny bit because of the cold winter air. The lips are blushed softly with pinks and reds. For her eyes, I was going for royal blue. Her lashes were a big challenge this time. I wanted to give her frozen white lashes, and since my white pencil wouldn't have the best opacity, I needed to draw them with a tiny brush and some gouache paint. It was really tricky, but the result is worth it, I think. Some gloss on her lips and waterline give her a magical touch. Something is still missing. Alright, she needs something in silver. I still had some gold and silver tattoos left, so I damped one of the ornaments in some water and placed it on her forehead. It's so shiny. Time to glue her wig. I made her a wig cap and prepared some wefts out of platinum blonde viscose hair. Then, layer by layer, I'm gluing her wig, waiting for every layer to dry in between. Oh, her hair looks so pretty and soft. The last thing we need to make is her outfit. Since a lot of Russian traditional clothing has a lot of beading and rhinestones, I was coming up with the idea of making a beaded dress. So I created a pattern for each of the pattern pieces I wanted to decorate, printed it out and laminated the sheets of paper so that I would be able to remove the fabric with the glued on decorations later. I was using a very soft tulle in white, which is usually used for veils. Then I begin gluing on bead by bead, rhinestone by rhinestone. The dazzling process took much more time than I thought. I think in the end I needed around 15 hours for all of the pattern pieces. After I was finally done, I layered the tool with some silver satin fabric and cut out the end shape of the pattern pieces. Then I basically had to sew the dress completely by hand, but I guess the end result was worth all the work. For the Kokoshnik, which is the Russian name for the typical traditional headdress, I designed a shape and cut it out of fun foam. Then I glued on the same silver fabric on it. I then begin to glue on beads and rhinestones onto it as well. First, I wanted to make a snowflake design in the middle of the Kokoshnik, but I changed my mind and designed some swirls and an ornament on the very top of it instead. Here I already glued on the first half. The second one is glued the same, just mirrored. Here I'm taking a stripe of cardboard, glue on some silver fabric around it too, and add a satin rim to it. Then I glue this piece onto the Kokoshnik, creating a headband for attaching it to the doll's head later. With some beads and beaded chains, the Kokoshnik is done. The last thing I wanted to make is a veil, because you can see Kokoshniks worn a lot with veils and I just really love the look. So again, I asked my mom if she could crochet some lace for me. And actually, the lace she made for me is so incredibly beautiful, I couldn't believe it. I sewed it around a veil pattern piece cut out of the same tool I used for the dress, and the veil was done. Her shoes are just some honey swamp high heels, which I painted silver. I was impressed by the opacity of the silver color. I only needed one layer of paint. Then I glued on some beads and rhinestones onto them as well, and we have some perfect shoes for her. Oh, and to match Laguna Fire even more to the theme, I painted her fins silver too. Wow, it's finally time to assemble her together. After all of the hard work, this already feels a bit like Christmas morning. First, I put her into the dress and shoes super carefully. Because of the beading, the dress actually became quite heavy. Then I'm gluing on her wig so that it will stay in place. Now I'm adding the veil, and on top of it I'm putting the Kokoshnik and tie it together on the back of her head. Wow, she's finally done! I can really feel the winter and Christmas spirit when looking at this doll, and I'm very happy how she turned out. Her name is Victoria, the Winter Princess. I'd like to take this part of the video to say a big thank you to all of you for more than 50,000 subscribers already. You guys are the best, and I'm really looking forward to the next year's customs. I have so much ideas, and I would be very happy if you can all be part of my customizing journey. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more custom fun. And make sure to check out the other awesome holiday videos by my friends too. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bye!